Hey, what's up, my people? It's your boy DFX Lord, and this morning I just want to share another trading opportunity that I plan to take this week with you guys. All right, let's go. Okay, the pair is AUDCAD, the Australian dollar Canadian dollar pair, and using my top-down analysis, I'm first gonna go to the daily time frame. So on the daily, what do we see? Let me just remove some of these indicators. All right, so on the daily, we see this nice pattern right here. You see your ending diagonal, your expanding ending diagonal right here. As you can see, the wave is already completed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and of course you have an impulse, boom, which moved all the way up here and is currently retracing. So to know whether the retracement has completed, what do? We take our Fibonacci tool from this impulse down here to this level up here, and as you can see, it has already breached the 38.2 Fibonacci level during its correction, right? So, and came close to the 50%. All right, normally I would be expecting the correction to get to 61.8 before I take any trading opportunity, but one thing of note is this correction has already come up to the point where it broke and retested this resistance. All right, this line right here, this resistance line right here, which serves as the resistance for the expanding ending diagonal. All right, so I would be looking for a buy trading opportunity from this point. So what will I do now is go down to the 4 hour. Let me see what I can find on the 4 hour. So right here on the 4 hour, I see the trade waxing strong. We had a nice powerful impulse down here, which is the correction to the previous massive impulse that broke the expanding diagonal. All right, so this impulse down here came up to this level right here, this zone, and you see it is kind of forming a support right there. This is a strong zone, as you guys can see if I extend this outward, leftwards to this level. So it is pushing up from this point, so I can rightly assume that that is the end of this particular impulse, and it's possibly planning to take a correction, right? A correction up here and possibly another move down before it finally takes off. But in order to know the level it's going to get to, I'll use my Fibonacci again, and I come right here, pick it up to this level, boom. So I see that no matter what, this should at least get to the 38.2, but seeing that there is what I call a zero traffic zone, that is a smooth move all the way to this level, to this bridge, and this bridge, or rather this particular zone right here, corresponds to the 61.8. What that tells me is that this is a massive opportunity for us to at least take advantage of, because most likely this is going to push all the way up to this level. All right, so which is the 61.8 retracement level of this impulse that moved down here. All right, so bearing that in mind, the next thing I'm going to do now is to come down to the time frame which I take my trades, and that is the 30 minutes time frame. I will now look for possible setups on the 30 minutes. All right, here on my 30 minutes, let's bring the tool a little bit down. Yeah, I'll first of all bring in my MACD to check for the volumes, what is happening there. Now you see here, while the prices has been forming lower lows right here, what was the volume doing? The volume was forming higher lows, and this is a pure unadulterated bullish divergence. All right, so meaning that this market is actually ripe to take. So, and if I look at it closer, you see that it's already waxing strong, possibly to push and start moving. So I would wait for a little bit of retracement. If it breaks this zone right here, where it's currently at, I'm going to take it. However, I'm going to place a buy limit at just this level right here. This level right here. Okay, I'm going to place a buy limit. So I'm expecting this to come down a little bit, pick up my trade, and then of course it's ascend to the profit taking levels. Now, one more confirmation or another confluence to know if this particular trade setup is most likely going to work. Remember that we react to trades and we don't predict, right? So we kind of approach the trade reactively. All right, so in order to be very certain, or at least have a high probability of your setup, what you want to do is you want to get as many quality confluences as you can. And one of them that I also use is the COT report. And if we go over here on the COT report on the Australian dollar for this past week, which of course should be made use of this week, you will see that the big boys, the banks, the investment banks, the speculators, the big speculators out there, look at what they are doing here. I'm most interested in these changes column, right? So if we check here, even though that the longs open on the Australian dollar is 19,521, you will see that it is an increase from what they had last week. There was an increase of about 6,801 units compared to the shorts, which also had an increase but lesser of 6,660. All right, so what this thing tells me is that this week the Australian dollar has gained some strength. More of it are being bought than being shorted. Okay, what next I will do is go straight to the Canadian dollar to see what that gives me as well. All right, so on switching to the Canadian dollar, let's see what we have there. Okay, beautiful. Now, do you see this? What is happening on the Canadian dollar? The longs are being closed. You have a close of about 2,389. And how about the shorts? A whooping increase of 4,105 units, right? You see, more people, more firms are shorting the Canadian dollar than they are buying it. What does that tell us? It means the Canadian dollar is losing its strength currently. All right, it means it is losing its value, and in the case of the Australian dollar, it is losing the value against the Australian dollar, because what this thing tells us is you're going to need more Canadian dollar to buy one Australian dollar. And right here in the charts, that's exactly what we are seeing here. Okay, this trade is actually coming down to pick up my trade. I expect it to do just so anytime from now. So what that means, from what we've just seen from the COT data, it tells us that this market is a no-brainer. All right, so I'm going to use my setup, which I've already communicated to you guys in this video, to take this trade, and we'll be expecting it to, at least in the next couple of days, head to our take profit levels. All right, and mind you, this particular take profit, if you were to go back to that initial frame, this is an impulse initial time frame. This was an impulse correction, and believe you me, the next impulse could go all the way to these levels that have been pointed, TP1 and TP2. But since we are day traders, what we want to be doing is to be riding this wave in little bits. Okay, so once we see the test setups, we're not going to just put it like position traders and let it go all the way here. Yes, there is a high probability it's going to get right here, but we want to ride them as they are forming. Okay, so with that little analysis, guys, I believe you guys are positioned to make some profits with me on Australian dollar USD. So, Australian dollar Canadian dollar. So that's it for now, guys, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.